Okay, so to change the key or to transpose, um, all you have to do is double click on your MIDI region and then select all. I'm just doing Command A, and then you can literally just drag this over to wherever you want. So if what I started off was this, so right now starts in D. I could just take it and I can go down to B, and then relationships will remain the same. There's no actual feature to change key. In some programs, you can actually specify the key signature, and then it'll automatically transpose. In Reaper, there isn't that feature, so you just have to do a kind of a manual transposition. So anyway, now it works exactly the same way. Okay, notice that it's looping now, the playback, because of this, because this button is on. So it's doing a toggle repeat. It is not actually a loop. It's just playing it back over and over. Now, if you want to change the tempo at some point in the piece, you can. For example, if I were to drag this over, and you know by now that when you do that, it'll start to loop it over and over. You can then, let's say in the middle here, you want the tempo to be faster. Then you can just put your play bar over there, go to Insert, Time Signature, Tempo Change Marker. And here you can specify how much faster you want it to be. You can even do a gradual change, so it's like an accelerando. Or you can even change the time signature, which is fine. So you will just change it. Well, right now, all we're going to do is change the BPM, so we'll change it to 180. And as you can see, this shrinks, which makes sense because it's going to be played faster. Right, and then of course we could change the key. Now the problem with changing the key in this case is that this is a loop. So if I change the key here, all of it will change key. So that wouldn't work. To actually make this, let's say if I wanted to be a whole step higher right here, because that's how I want my song to be, then I would have to split it so that now this becomes an independent region. Then I go into that and I select all and I move the whole thing up, let's see, from B to D flat, and let's see what, and then maybe we'll do this, we'll be cheesy and we'll go back to the original tempo, in which case we would have to go here and do another tempo change, Insert, Time Signature, back to 80. All right, now of course we could have also changed the speed of this without changing the tempo. And to do that, we would have had to just change the playback rate, just like we used to do for audio. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, so that could be at least some interesting things. Notice that you can't just change the speed of one track only, which makes sense. If I had multiple tracks, I couldn't just take this section, on track 1 and change the speed, the tempo, I mean, and not change it here. That wouldn't make sense, because if I change the tempo here, everything is changing tempo in that particular moment. Now, I could still give the impression that the tempo is not changing. In that case, I would have to work with play rates instead of time signature or tempo changes. All right, now when you change the time signature, if I had done that here, in addition to this, I would have ended up with, see, there's my time signature. I just double click on that little button there, where the little label, the little marker, it says 80, and if I change the time signature too, this will obviously rebar things, and so the loops will look probably out of whack. So let's say if I change this to 5/8 instead, it'll arrange the bar lines in different places. So now this won't work anymore because this little pattern is a 3/8 pattern. It'll actually play back exactly the same way. The only difference will be in the way the measures are organized. So it might be a little harder to find the beginning of things. But you might actually want a time signature change, which is very easy to do, and maybe you want some other kind of musical idea there. So hopefully this is helpful for your next project.